I'd say curiosity. That's the first thing. The other thing I would say is observing the impact of branding and brands on the way we speak, the way we behave, and how it becomes our language for what we do. And then the third thing is just, I can't believe how lucky I am leaning into the great fortune of being where I am. I fell in love with advertising at a very early age. And I was afforded the freedom to explore at home in Mafikeng. There weren't many people doing what I do, so I spent those teen years trying to read up as much as possible about this industry. By the time I got into it, my word, I was, I had read up so much, and now I've been here for a while, and I'm still leaning into that magic. I'm just a young girl from Mafikeng who's living out a dream. Where we are right now, COVID and tech have completely reset the borders of our world, right? So I can't afford to sit in South Africa as a strat person in South Africa and only think about South African insight. I have access to insight and perspective from all corners of the world at the click of a button. And it's made how we work so much more dynamic if you lean into the dynamism. I'm really enjoying it. The next thing that I'm experiencing and working with currently is how AI has helped me absolutely, completely accelerate the way I work. And not acceleration for acceleration's sake, but rather giving me the mental freedom and space that I need, because the tech is helping me with the heavy lifting. I wrote a piece about that. So this thing that we see as an existential crisis, for me, I see as a process of evolution. And I'm excited about being in that evolution. I enjoy a dose of discomfort because it forces you to reevaluate and look at things differently. And I think that is where we are. A couple of things for me, and what I find attractive about, when we speak about the Mark Awards, is this idea of innovation. I think that work that is game changing, that shifts behavior, that shifts the outlook, that shifts a brand's performance and sales. Of course, we look at sales. But that involves the way we think about how to do things, I think is incredible. The other thing for me that I find attractive is across each and every year of awards, we compile these case studies and these case studies become showcased, over a year. It has its run. I'm interested in packaging a catalog of case studies whose value we can learn from, or whose lessons we can learn from a decade from now. I am interested in companies and brands that democratize knowledge, that democratize creativity even. And it's probably because I also have some broadcast or content experience, and it's always intrigued me. But on a very serious note, what TikTok has been able to do in democratizing creativity and democratizing it from a variety of talent and refinement point of view, and building an appetite for a certain type of content. And then also understanding the power of pictures and video to make information more accessible, more palatable. And some of the stuff, it's not like, it's not like, rocket science. What I'm excited about is like how core to excellent work and excellent campaign strategy is, and finally strategy having a voice. I'm curious to see how, and this is a challenge I experience daily, how strategy narrates, or the story of strategy is narrated. What was the thinking behind the pictures that we see? And
100%.
More importantly, how is that thinking catalytic, like, of or to the future? How does it catalyze future outcomes?